G'day and welcome to another episode of Kiwi Car Life, and today we're going to be comparing this 2013 Toyota GT86 with my 2009 BMW Z4. In terms of exterior styling, when these 86s came out they were immensely popular because they were one of the last remaining affordable fun sports cars on the market. Around the front it looks really nice and angular with a big open mouth, which helps to make it look really sporty. And round back with the big twin exhausts at the back and the LED tail lights, it's a really nice looking car. The Z4 by comparison has a lot more lines and creases all over. It's a little bit more of a busy design, but it is also perhaps a little bit more feminine in the way that it looks. Underneath this Toyota is a Subaru engine. Surprise, surprise, Toyota developed this car with Subaru. And under here is a 2-litre naturally aspirated flat 4 engine. From factory it makes about 147 kilowatt or 200 horsepower and 205 Newton meters, and could be paired with either a 6-speed auto or, in the case of this, a delightful 6-speed manual. And then in the case of my Z4, this has an N52 B25. It's a 2.5 litre straight 6, makes 150 kilowatts, so about the same as this, but 250 Newton meters of torque, so quite a lot more torque than the little 4-banger. And in the case of this, you could also get it with a 6-speed manual, but in New Zealand they're basically non-existent, so mine has the ZF 6-speed auto. The interior of the GT86 is significantly more driver focused than the Z4. Surprisingly, I reckon there's actually more space in the interior of the Z4 than there is in this. There's no ridiculous amounts of buttons all over everywhere. It's just standard climate control, a basic infotainment system up here which does everything you need, your Bluetooth, your radio, and nothing more. Very simple gauges that put the tachometer in the middle, and a delightful feeling perforated leather steering wheel that just feels really nice in your hands. And the transmission, not the most amazing feeling transmission, but it does feel really nice, a very mechanical feel, which is really good. The Z4's cabin is probably helped by the fact that it has a convertible top, but it just generally feels a lot more airy in here. The dashboard in the 86 is like straight up and down, whereas in this one it curves away, which just helps to make the interior feel just that little bit more open. The gauges look really cool in this car, and they do show more information than they do in the 86. Another advantage you have with this is it's just generally a more featuresome car. You have buttons on the steering wheel which, while they do sort of clutter things up a bit, it means that if you want to adjust your volume or your radio station, you don't have to go reaching over here. And you have extra stuff like auto lights, auto wipers, navigation, reversing camera, dual zone climate control, heated seats and everything, stuff that you won't find in an 86 just because it's a more featuresome European car, as you would expect. Driving the Toyota GT86. In comparison with the Z4, the first thing I notice is, my oh my, this 2-litre, unless you wind it right out, it doesn't have a lot to give. But everything else about the car, you can tell, is just that little bit more driver focused, which is really cool. Nice short throw, super easy to heel toe, the pedal box is placed really well, steering feel is fantastic, it just darts one way or another so nicely. Alright, here we go, let's get on the power a little bit here. Okay, yeah, when you rev it out, then it makes its power. It just takes a little bit to get there, but when you do, this exhaust has definitely really opened this thing up. Whoa, okay, yeah, this thing is a sideways machine, man. Steering feel is fantastic, it's so direct. Oh, you can tell it just wants to get loose. It is really good. Okay, when you wind it right out and you get it really singing, that's when the engine starts to come alive, and it does make a good noise. And above all else, it's just a lot of fun, you know. So quick to respond after every gear change. Oh, it is good. Oh, I can't believe how quick the steering is. It's so nice. This thing would be a lot of fun to drive on a track day, man. A lot of fun. Turn out of the roundabout here. Oh yeah, it'll go sideways, man. And it does get going, man. It's not like the fastest thing ever, but it's pretty nice. Wrapping up the Z4 versus GT86 video, the things that are great about the Z4 It handles really well, great steering feel, fantastic sound. This definitely has a better automatic transmission than the automatic 86 or BRZ, and because it's got a tin top, you can enjoy the soft top experience, but put the roof up and get the same experience as the 86. And definitely a lot more features, a lot more comfortable. The 86, it just feels claustrophobic inside, whereas this, I mean, the open roof definitely helps, but even with the roof up, it's still, the way that the dash slopes away from you rather than being just dead flat, you know, up and down like this. Overall, it is, believe it or not, even though it's the convertible and not the coupe, in my mind, a more livable car. Like I said, more features, more comfortable, more spacious. Now, the advantages of the 86. It's more readily available in a manual, so if you really want a manual, definitely go for the 86. There's a reason why people buy them, because it's a cheap, affordable, rear-wheel drive, manual transmission car, and it is fantastic fun to drive. Great steering feel, and it does sound good. It revs out, it's a great fun car to drive, and above all else, it's got a limited slip diff, which is the main thing that lets this Z4 down. The Z4 is great fun. I love it. I think it has a much better exhaust sound, much better auto trans, as I mentioned, much more features, more comfortable. But the 86 is also good, probably a better track car, and definitely probably more modification potential, and of course more readily available with a great manual transmission and has a limited slip differential. So there we go. I hope that's given you an idea of which out of the Z4 and 86 will suit your driving needs best. And if you enjoyed this video, you might enjoy some of these other ones popping up right about now, and I'll look forward to seeing you again next time.